Hey everybody. My name is Miles, and it is a pleasure to be here making this video for you for my traffic surfing safety series. Now, really with the goal of this, the Broadway Bomb is coming up in just a couple days, so I wanted to put out a couple quick tips just for staying safe in traffic while you're out there. These are absolutely topics that I want to go back and visit later on at a future date with better audio and quality and a little bit more time and energy put into it, but I figured it's more important to get the content out now than to learn how to do video editing. Figured that'd take a little bit more time. Anyway, I'll get right to it, a little bit about myself and, how I learned what I know, what got me here, and, what I want to go over. So, long story short, I have been skating for about 16 years in total. Started with street skating for, about 7 years, something that time, it's all wibbly wobbly. I wound up buying a longboard and fell in love. And after buying the longboard, within about 2 years or so, I started doing push races and immediately started doing it in traffic. Now, during the time that I was longboarding, that was a really, really dark time in my life, and I would really say that skating and longboarding was probably the biggest thing that kept me alive and kept me going through that time. I was suicidal, and skating was the only thing that wasn't negative that I could focus my mind on. It was the only thing that gave me any kind of self-worth. And so I just thought about it day after day after day, constantly. And that thinking is really what shaped my style and what made me a very strong skater, because I just thought about it constantly. How can I be faster? How can I be more efficient? How can I have more control? How can I be safer? And that's what this is all about. So after racing for about 4 years, I wound up getting hit by a car, complete freak accident while I was riding a bike, and I've actually stopped racing for the last 5 years, but because I haven't been racing, I've still been thinking about it. Of course, I'm not in that dark place anymore. I mean, but yeah, I just think about it all the time now. Other than thinking about it, I have studied and studied and studied any and everything that I could get my hands on to make me faster. That's, studying aero and fluid dynamics, studying every kind of racing that I could think of, biomechanics, whatever I could think of to just give me a little bit more of an edge. So, with all that thought, I'd like to begin making it into a series that I can share with you guys and hopefully help you. Speaking of helping people, this is really what I want to go over. It's just a few tips, quick overview, and I want to come back and go into all of these topics in more depth, but when I have the time and when I have better resources. So first, the mindset for navigating traffic. I think that is the most important thing. The way that you think influences all of your decisions. So even if you don't have a lot of the technicality for these things, just having the right guide, the right mindset, will really help you to stay safe. Falling and crashing, there's a right way and a wrong way to do it, and sometimes instead of it being about not falling, sometimes it's just about harm reduction. Sometimes it's just how can I do this as well as possible. Stopping, a lot of us know how to do it. Hopefully if you're doing the Broadway Bomb, you know how to stop already. But I'm going to go into stopping in extreme circumstances, a little bit in depth with that, and mixing and matching different ways to stop and the different situations to use them in. Lastly, turning. I could talk about any and all of these topics forever, but focus is also, of course, more so emergency situations. Lastly, road placement. Whenever I see a lot of, many of the accidents that I've seen between cyclists or skaters and cars, of course, there's a high degree of negligence. Of course, somebody's not paying attention, somebody's not doing something right. But I do often see poor road placement as being a key contributing factor to the accidents that may happen. So if there are 2 videos of this whole series that I would suggest that you watch, it would be 1, mindset, and 2, road placement. And I'm gonna tell you how to navigate through the road, where to place yourself to stay safe under a bunch of different situations, and I'm gonna come back and circle back to all of these in much more depth later on. But thank you for joining me, and look forward to seeing you out there on the road. Bye.